This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, the dimension models are, one is a star schema, Snowflake schema. So these are the important schemas we are using in the real time. Okay, most of the companies. So what is the star schema means? The star schema is nothing but one fact table, centralized fact table with connected with the multiple dimension tables. Either it could be one or more dimension tables. Okay, it's a look like a star. That's why the naming convention it's called a star schema for this. Okay, what is the advantage of the star schema? The advantages will be
easily available, easily data is sir.
Yeah, we can able to understand the schema, the model we can able to understand the easily. Okay, but the only disadvantage will be the day-to-day. Sorry, the day-to-day it will be data will be increased in the table, dimension tables or product table. Okay, day-to-day it will going to increase the size, right? Automatically the loading at the time of the ETL loading, so the process will take the more time due to the huge amount of the data. Okay, the performance will be, query performance will be decreased as the star schema. Okay, and then come to the Snowflake schema. The Snowflake schema is an extension of the star schema. Okay, the what are the dimension tables? The fact table connected with the multiple dimension table. The dimension can be split into another dimension tables. It will extend it to the another dimension tables. Like production dimension is split into the brand table as well as the SKU table, like that. Our time dimension can be split into the time week table, month table, year table. Okay, and then location table also is split into the region wise, district wise, okay, area wise, like that. They're going to split the tables into multiple tables. Okay, what is advantages means the number of tables, lookup tables are more, so automatically the data will be split into multiple tables, so the query performance will be increased due to the number of joins are more here, but the query performance will be increased. Okay, but what is the disadvantage means, for understanding it's very difficult to understand this one. Okay, difficult to understand. And also in the Snowflake schema we can able to generate the hierarchies here. We can able to generate the hierarchy. Hierarchy is nothing but the relationship between the one table to one table to another table. That is the hierarchy. Okay. Okay. So, and also we discuss for the dimension types. Yesterday we discussed about dimension types. One is the confirmed dimension, junk dimension, degenerated dimension. So these three dimensions in the yesterday class. Okay. What is meant by confirmed? Can you please someone go mute? What is meant by confirmed dimension means? The confirmed dimension is nothing but the whatever the dimension is the table. We are using more than one fact tables. Example, product dimension. The product dimension we are using the fat sales table, inventory table, purchase order table, or ledger table, like that. Many tables we are going to use one dimension table. So those kind of dimensions we call as a confirmed dimensions, or date dimension. You can take the date and location. Okay, these kind of dimensions we call as a confirmed dimension. So we are going to use in more than one fact tables. For example, take the customer dimension. So customer dimension is not a confirmed dimension, because of customer dimension is a only related to the sales table. It's there is no other fact tables. It won't any relation between the customers, right? Only sales and then customers. That is the only relation. Okay. Next, come to the junk dimension. What is meant by junk dimension? So junk dimension is nothing but the it will store into the fact table. It won't related to any of the dimension table. This junk dimension. Okay, the values, whatever the values are there, those values are stored into the fact table. Okay, it's a kind of random transactional codes or flags. Okay, random transactional codes and flags, like like true or false, 1, 0. Okay, or will be any codes, textual description of the data. Okay, promotional sales, return sales. Okay, if they ask the question what is junk dimension, you have to give this kind of example, action codes, either transactional code, actual sales, okay, or return sales. So based on the transaction, they're going to fall into the any one of the transaction. The transaction will be normal sales or return sales or promo sales, like that. It could be fall any one of the transaction or exchange sales, something like that. The action code, random transactional codes or flags, those kind of attributes that are stored into the fact table. Okay, that is the junk dimension or dirty dimension. We call it as a dirty dimension also. Okay, those kind of measures, attributes. Okay, next, degenerated dimension is nothing but, so every time we have to generate the unique value, new value. Every time we generate the new value and then store into the fact table. This dimension also, it won't be related to the any of the other dimension tables. This value also, it will be stored into the fact table only. What is the difference between the junk dimension and degeneration means? Here the keep on using the whatever the codes are there, we keep on using the repeatedly. Okay, there are 3 or 4 codes are there. The 3 or 4 codes they are using repeatedly. But here the value will be generated every time, will be new value. New value it will generate and then store into the fact table. Example, order ID, transaction ID, line of business. Okay, we call it a line of business. Okay, every day it will generate the new value, right? Whenever we go for the transactions, it will generate the new transaction ID, a bill payment ID. Okay, that is a degenerated dimension, we call it as. Up to here, any doubts, guys? Up to here, any doubts?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Any others, guys? Okay, so we are going today a very important topic. So this we are even implementing or validating the even real time also every day. Okay, this topic will be very important. Each and every interview they will ask this question, mandatory. 99.9% they will ask the question about the SCDs. In every interview they will ask this question. Okay, slowly changing dimension, we call the SCD is nothing but the slowly changing dimensions. Slowly changing dimensions. Okay, SCD is nothing but the abbreviation will be slowly changing dimension. Okay, so there are 3 types of SCDs are there. Okay, SCD type 1, SCD type 2, SCD type 3. Like that, they're going to implement any one of the SCDs, okay, in the dimension tables. So you can say in the naming convention itself, dimensions. So this is related to the dimension tables. This topic is related to the dimension tables, not fact tables. Okay, that's why we call the naming convention will be slowly changing dimensions. So these any dimension table, they're going to implement any one of the approach implementation. They're going to implement any one of the implementation and then load the data into dimension tables. Either it could be SCD type 1 or type 2 or type 3. Any one of the implementation they're going to use in the dimension tables, all the dimension tables. Okay, but in the real time they're going to use 99% SCD type 1 and type 2. Even my experience, 14 years experience, I didn't see the implementation of the SCD type 3. Okay, no one will implement the SCD type 3. This is only for the interview point of view purpose. You can just learn the SCD type 3. But SCD type 1 and type 2, in every company, every project, they are going to implement the SCD type 1 and type 2s. Okay, so I'll explain you what is SCD type 1 and SCD type 2 with examples. Okay, first we'll go for the SCD type 1. Okay, the SCD type 1. The SCD type 1 means, for example, we have the source data. Okay, source data, employee table is there. Take the employee table or customer table, any table. Okay, we have the employee table, the source data is there. So is there any modifications happen at the source side? Okay, otherwise I'll explain to the with the examples. This is, we discuss the fact, right? This is, we are going to a series. Okay, yeah, I'm going to explain SCD type 1. Are you able to see the screen, right? Otherwise I'll increase the some size. Fine, right? Yeah. So I'm going to implement the SCD type 1. Okay. So this is the source table. I'm going to give the source table. The table name will be EMP underscore SRC. Example, take the table name will be EMP underscore SRC is my table name. Okay. What are the columns are there here? Employee ID, employee name, okay, salary, and designation, location. So these are my columns in the source table. Okay, the table will be employee underscore source. These are the columns. Okay, I'm going to merge. Yeah, I'm going to merge. This also I'm going to merge. Okay, so these are my data. These are the attributes are there. Okay, take the employee 1001, maybe money, salary will be 10,000, designation will be QA, location will be Bangalore. I given like this the data, one employee data. Okay, next 1002. Okay, maybe Shiva, I'll give the 12,000, admin will be VA Bangalore. 1003, Karna, maybe HR. So like that, I have the my source table. I have this kind of data is there, right? Okay. So whenever we load the data warehousing, this is my source data. Why did I do the data warehousing? We are extracting these data and then we are loading into the target database, right? That is our data flow, the architecture. Okay. So I'm going to load here employee underscore target. The table name will be employee underscore target. Okay. Whenever we implement SCD type 1, is there any changes happen at the source side? This is actual source data. The same data we executed the job and the data loaded into the my target table. Fine, up to now fine. Okay, but is there any modifications happen at the source side? For example, this you have changed the designation will be senior QA. The money designation was changed to the, he got the promotion and then he changed the SQA, senior QA. Okay, or maybe here he got the change to early 15,000, or she moved to the maybe Hyderabad location. So like that, there are some changes happen on your source side. Whenever the changes happen in the source side, okay, by implementation of the SCD1, whenever we implement the SCD1, So I'm going to the updated. This is the updated record. Here updated happen. Here the updated happen. Okay. Sorry. You can say here Bangalore only. Updated record. Okay. Here one more record is there. 1004. Okay. Take location. Okay. 12,000. Key Bangalore. So this is a new record. It's added the new record. My source side, it added as a new record, one new record, two updated records. One new record and two updated records. So now whenever we run the job, at the time of SCD type 1 implementation, if they implemented SCD type 1 in this table, for this table, okay, the data, whatever the data, modified data, it should be simply override the target table. Okay, the SCD type 1 definition will be whatever any changes happen in the CD1 source side, those changes will be override into the target table. Means what happened here, like ER model, last time I explained the ER model, right? The same thing like that here. So it is simply, it will go on, then it will be override here after execution of the job. Okay, the new record will be always, it will populate normally. Location 12,000 PA Bangalore. Okay, so is there any modifications happen at the source data? But whenever you implement SCD type 1, that data it going to the target table, simply it will be override. So here what is the disadvantages means we can't maintain any history here. We can't maintain the historical of the data here. We are not maintaining the historical data here. Okay, but the advantages means it won't increase the drastically your table, right? Whatever data is there, the same data it will be there. It won't, because we are not maintaining the history here. So it won't it won't increase the table size, but we can able to get it the easily. We can able to understand easily the data here. Okay, but we lost the historical data here. We lost the historical. When they are going to implement SCD type 1 means whenever they don't want the historical, they don't want to maintain the historical data for that table. In that case, they will go for the SCD type 1. Clear guys, SCD type 1? Any doubt on the SCD type 1? Because these are the very important. We have to do the validation, this one, the real time. So each and every table, it will fall or either SCD1 or SCD type 2, the real time. If you have 100 table, dimension tables are there, all 100 tables, either it could be fall, dimension SCD type 1 or SCD type 2. Okay, that's why I'm saying the functionality should be important. They will ask the interview point of view, every time they will ask the interview point of view. What is SCD? What is, can you explain the SCDs? So we have the SCD1 and SCD2. So SCD1 means, is there any modifications happen on the source side, source data? Those modification it will override into the target table. Okay, but we can't maintain the history here. We are not maintaining the any history here. Okay, that is the functionality of the SCD1 here. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, STP, yes. First one is if you add the one more attribute, it is possible, sir.
Means okay. Yeah, we can able to add here. And you can add more table later point of view. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
You can able to add. It's not a problem. Maybe department number. So later add the 10, 20, 30, 10. We can able to add, no problem. We can able to add this one.
Dump to the
Okay.
target table, sir.
Yeah, you can able to dump the target table.
Yeah, okay, sir.
That is not a problem. That is an enhancement. As part of the enhancement, they are going to do. But how they are going to load here, the data will be that they will do the okay. Here they are going to do
Okay, sir.
but the main intention will be the what is SCD type 1 means, is there any modifications happen at the source side, those changes will be override into the target side. That is the main implementation of the SCD type 1. When they are going to use for the SCD type 1 means, they don't want any historical tracking, they don't want require any historical tracking for the table, then they go for implement the SCD type 1. Okay, in the real time 90% tables are the SCD type 1 tables. 90% tables are the historical SCD type 1 tables. SCD type 1 tables in the real time.
But how can I see the past data, sir?
That's why. So they don't want to maintain the history. They don't want to see the history. For the whoever the I want to maintain the history, those table only they will go for the SCD type 2. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir.
So then they don't want to maintain the history. Then that in that case they will go for the SCD type 1.
Yeah, okay.
Just type 1. Because of the SCD type 2 means you have to maintain the history, means you have to huge amount of data. The table data it will increase drastically every day, right? So that is the reason. So whenever the mandatory historical, that time for those tables only they will go for the SCD type 2 implementation. Okay, or they will go for directly for a type 1 tables only. Most of the table 90% tables are the type 1 tables in the real times. Any project, only 10% of tables out of 100, 90 tables are a type 1, 10 tables are type 2 tables. Okay, this is like that, it will be there in the real time. Okay, clear, right? SCD type 1 is clear, right? Now I'm going to explain the SCD type 2. Any doubts on SCD type 1? Just please tell me. Same thing I'm going to copy paste here. Okay. Yeah. They implement SCD type 2. Okay. They implement SCD type 2. So what is mean by SCD type 2 means, if is there any changes happen in the your source data, it will add as a new record into the, whenever they implement the SCD type 2, it will add as a new record into the target table. Okay, that is the SCD type 2 functionality. SCD type 1 means it will override the target table. Is there any modifications happen in source data, it will override the target table. So we are not maintaining any history in the SCD type 1. But come to the SCD type 2, we are maintaining whenever the modifications happen in the source data, those record add as a new record in the target table. So we are maintaining the history for the SCD type 2. This is a very challenging part to validate. Okay, very challenging. Here the validation will be very difficult. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll explain that one. SCD type 2. Okay, we'll go for the, for example, same records you can take PA admin HR. Okay, first I'm taking the, I'm just removing this one. Okay, leave it as of now. 3 records you can take. First time will be 3 records. Take the 3 records. So the 3 records will load into the here. Whatever the data is there, old data. Just I'm going to paste it in the here. The first time load will be, it will be like this. Okay, this is my data. Is there any changes happen in the SCD type 2? Okay, for example, here the I'm going to change as a new record. senior QA. Okay, this is the updated record. Updated record. How it will go and add in the. So they're going to implement the one surrogate key concept. I will explain the surrogate key in the one key, that is a EMP ref key, called as a EMP ref key. Okay, I am going to implement. They're going to implement in the EMP ref key like this. Okay, here also they're going to implement some columns: start date, end date, and active. Okay, like that it will be there columns in the SAD type 2 for. Okay, so this is a sequential generation key, sequence generator. The employer F key we got as a on top sequence generator. So always will be, it will start 1 2 3 like that. New value, whenever the record is inserted target table, it will generate the new value. That is a surrogate key. We call it, what is surrogate key means? The surrogate key is act as a, it will implement the sequential generator. By using the sequence generator, it act as a primary key. It act as a primary key. Surrogate key is act as a primary key. So always will be unique records and it won't allow the null values here. So it is a sequence generator. This is a sequence. By using the sequence generator, they will implement the surrogate key. Okay, understand that surrogate key? The surrogate key is a act as a primary key in the data warehousing. It will generate the by using the sequence generator. Okay, for example, I will give 1 and then 2, then 3 like that. Okay, now so I implemented the SCD type 2 for this table. Okay, the changes happen. What is changes happen? Senior QA instead of QA, senior QA it will be there. Okay, so here the start date means they will take the based on the joining date. For example, he joined as a 01/01/2020. The always end date will be in the real time. End date will be max date. What is our max date? Tell me. In our calendar, what is the max calendar date? 12/31/999. Right? As of now, in the 4 years calendar, we are following the 4 years calendar, right? Why? So up to 9,999 year calendar only up to now is the present. So not 10,000, it won't be available now in our calendar, right? So that's why they will go for the always max calendar. Max end date will be max date they will give. Means longer date they will give. So okay, and the active will be the current record means active will be 1. Like that it will load the data. For example, I'm given the like that first time whenever the load the data SCD type 2, it will load like this. Okay, it will load like this. Okay, okay, no. So what are the source? We have 3 records in the source side. Okay, 3 records loaded into the target side first time, but now one new record. The second time it will be, this is a new record, this is the updated record. This is the updated record. For example, you can take here also 15,000. This is the updated record. Two new record, one new record is there, 2 updated records are there. My source side for next day. This is my data in the next day data. Two are the modified existing data. One is the new record, new data. Now what happened? It will come here. To add for new record means updated record means new record automatically to load like this. There is no change. Directly it will go on to add as a new record. Okay, maybe 2/1/2020. Okay, and this will be common. Okay, but come to the updated records now. Okay, it will add as a I told the SCD type 2 means it will add as a new record. So now come to the fifth one. Sorry. Now generate is the fifth. So I'm going to copy paste this one. Whatever the changes happen, this will be copy paste. But here, when it happen the change, this is the, when it happen the promotion. For example, I will take the 1/1/2021. Okay, this is my date. So this date it will go and update in the end date. So this QA will be from this date to this date. From start date to end date, he will be as a QA. From here to till now is a means max date will be like this. This is a 1 active record. This it will go to the 0. This is the historical data. This is a history record. Okay, this is the active record. Okay, this is active record. This is the history record. So they will ask in the interview how you are going to differentiate the active record and history records. How you are going to differentiate the active records and historical records. Then you have to tell we have the columns are there, start date, end date, active. Based on these three columns, I am going to differentiate the, I am going to validate the my SCD type 2 data. If active equal to 1 and end date equal to max date, then it should be that is a active record. Or active equal to 0 or the end date should be not equal to max date. Those kind of records I consider as a historical data, means old data. Okay, you have to tell like that in the interview point of view. But this is the way of implementation in the system. Yeah, tell me guys.
Can you please once again repeat your active record and history record? Differences between active record and history record.
No, sorry, your voice is very fast. I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat the question?
Can you please repeat the active record and history record too?
Differentiate between the active record and history record.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So active record
Yes,
means
sir.
the present record. Active record is nothing but the current record. What does the data is available actively? That data we call as active record. So you can see differentiate here. Now what is the money is the designation currently? Senior QA is a designation, right? The earlier he is the designation will be QA only. This is the historical data. This is old data. Okay, this is the active like present data. That is active and historical. Means old past data we call as historical data. Whatever the current data at source side, okay, that we call as we consider as a active record, current record, latest record. Okay. Now here one more change is happened the source side. One more change. So 15,000 is a change. Earlier his salary will be 12,000. Shiva's salary will be 12,000. Now it's increased to the 15K. Okay. So this record also it will add as a new record. So it will generate as a new key. Then so same thing. For example, it is generated as a 1/1/2021. So here will be max date will be always it will go to the here 0. These are historical data, and this end date also it will go into update in the year. So like that it will go into update, guys. This functionality you have to check this properly updating or not, and then the data will be add as a new record or not. Okay, this functionality you have to check in at the time of the real time. You have to do the validations. This is SCD type 2 validation, SCD type 1 validation. Okay, here the count it won't match. For example, here you can see the count. To take the count, how many counts are there? My source said 4 counts are there, but come to the my target table, how much is the count is there? 6 is there. Okay, then we have to give the where active equal to 1. If you give where active equal to 1, then you will get the 4 count. Then only you can able to match the your source data. Okay, these are historical data, old data, past data. This data it won't available in the your source side. Okay, So if there any changes like that on the SCD type 2 functional base, any changes happen. If there is no change means that the record will be keep in the same. But this record there is no change. So again the changes happen here 12,000 or 13,000. Okay, what happened? Again it will go into the add as a new record. This one, the 7. Okay. Copy. 13,000. Okay, here will be some date you can give 3/3/2021. Okay, but this one will be 1. Okay, this you have to go and update the year. Here, and this will be 0 record. Okay, now if you give the 1001, how many records will come? 3 records will come. One is the 0, from this date to this date, this will be active record, and this next will be this date to this date, from here to here. This is the your data, current data. Okay, but now this is the latest data. So like that the data will be maintaining the SCD type 2. Okay,
Raman,
maintain the
how-
yes, tell me.
suppose for one record, if there are I mean, more than two columns, changes in two columns. Okay. Like for money, the salary and designation both got changed. So we will be creating two different
No. Data will be one.
columns.
Yeah, no, it will be same. For example, this is Aparna is going to change the 20,000. Okay, and then she moved to maybe Hyderabad. Okay, she changed to move to Hyderabad. Okay, I'll go to the this record will update here as a new surrogate key. Okay, like this it will happen based on the date. Maybe I will take the same date. This time date I'm going to update the. Okay, like that it will happen. Okay, I'll come to that point whatever you told now. So like that it will happen, but the understanding is clear, right? SCD1, SCD2, SCD1 and SCD2 understanding is clear, right?
Yes.
Now I'll tell you, but in the real time, so they won't implement the for all the columns SCD2 type 2 functionality. Either one or two columns only. We have 100 columns also. They'll go and implement only one or two tables only, one or two columns only. They'll implement the SCD type 2. They won't implement any for other columns. So in this case, it will act as a, so what are the columns they are going to implement? Those columns SCD type 2, remaining all columns will be SCD type 1. It will act as a SCD type 1. Okay, the real time, the same table, they are going to implement SCD type 2 as well as SCD type 1. Okay, I will tell you. So these are SCD type 1 table. All columns are SCD type 1 here. Okay, but come to the SCD type 2 in the real time. So only one column or two columns they are going to implement the SCD type 2. So it's difficult to maintain the for all the columns if you are SCD type 2 means very difficult. For example, you can take here for salary and designation will be SCD type 2. For example, these two are the SCD type 2. Okay. SCD type 2 columns. Okay. Otherwise, you will take the new table. Why we touch the existing one? Okay. I'm taking the same thing here. I'm going to here. Okay. Okay. Here the SCD1 and SCD2. CD type 1 and type 2. So like that it will be there in the real time, guys. So it won't allow separately SCD type 2 for an entire table. So in the SCD type 2 they will allow apply for the only 1 or 2 columns only. Depends upon the which column they need. For those columns only they are applying the SCD type 2. For remaining all other columns are act as a SCD type 1. Okay. 1 second, guys. Yeah. So now my source data will be like this. Okay. Now guys, you have to tell the answers. I will ask the questions. You have to tell the answers. This is the my table source data. Okay. This is, you can take the remove this record presently. Keep it side. Keep it side. Later we'll see. So my source will be 3 records are there. Okay. This is the old records. 3 records are there. Okay. It will be Bangalore. Okay. This is my original data. So here they're going to apply CD type 2 for only these 2 columns. I'm just giving the comment also. I will upload this record. CD type 2 columns. So they will specify only CD type 2 columns only. That meaning the remaining other columns are SCD type 1. They won't specify the SCD type 1 columns. Only they specify the SCD type 2 columns. The real time. That means remaining other columns are the SCD type 1. Okay. I told the SCD type 3 they were not going to use in any places anywhere. As of now, my experience, I didn't see the SCD type 3 implementation. Okay. So consider only SCD type 1 and type 2 in your mind, the real time. So that's why these two are the SCD type 2. And now you can see SCD type 2 columns, these two. Okay. Remaining other columns are SCD type 1 columns here in this table. Now you know, right? What is SCD type 1 functionality? What is SCD type 2 functionality? Type 1 means it will be simply override the target table. Type 2 means it will add as a new record the target table. If there are any modifications. Clear, right? Here the functionality clear, right? The first time will be it will load into the same way. The first time it will load same load, it will load. Okay. So I'm going to remove this all those things. The first time load will be max date. This is the max date. So sometimes they give 01, 01, 919 and 9000 something, anything max date, not the nearest date. So like that they will also give it. But the original date will be max date. They will ask sometimes what is the max date of your calendar. So what date they are going to implement in the end date. So you have to tell the 12, 31, 9999. So they will ask with the timestamp also. Can you tell me the timestamp? How it will be their max date timestamp? Tell me guys how it will be their max timestamp means 23.
59.
Yeah, 23, 59, 59. Okay. This is the your timestamp of the max date. 12, 31, 99. Sorry, 23. It will take in the okay. Calendar is taking okay. 23, 59, 59. Okay. Or 11, 59, 59 PM. This is the your max date. Okay. But sometimes they'll give like that the max date will give in the real time. My pride they given the 9000 something. Whether it's not a nearest date, right? So any long date they will go to in the end date. Okay. That is the guys. Okay. Now it will be like this. The data will be there. Here active record. All will be active. First time will be all will be active. Okay. Now the changes happen in the my source side. Some changes happen the here 12,000. Some data changes happen the sources. Maybe here will be Hyderabad. It move to the Hyderabad. The two changes happen here. The one is updated record. This is updated record. This is the updated record. Okay. This is the new record. This is the new record. Okay. This is a new record and two are the updated records, guys. Like that, I have the data is there in my source side modifications. Then now tell me how it will happen the here. Now how many records will come my target table? First answer I asking the question. Now in this scenario, now if you load the data, how many records will come in my target table? The count of the target table. Tell me.
2 records.
You know the total records, total count I'm asking. How many total records
Total
my count?
4.
I will write here.
In target table,
4.
5.
Four.
5.
One is
4.
4 answer, one is a 5 answer. Okay. Then any other answers? But guys, here I'm asking the total all record history and history and
Only 4, sir.
active. Both all asking. Okay. One is 4. I got one answer. Is got the 5. Is there any other answers? Is there any other answers?
4, sir.
no.
4.
4, sir.
Okay. I think both answers are incorrect.
7.
As my agent, both are the incorrect. Sorry, one is incorrect. Sorry, one is incorrect. So this is the incorrect. 4 is incorrect. 5 is the correct value. Why means, for example, so I told this is a new record. So there is no problem with the new records. So simply it will go and add as a new record into my target table. Okay. So I'm going to here 4 record. Okay. Maybe this is my record. So now I told I implemented the SCD1 and SCD type 2 in the my table. This table I implemented a SCD1 and SCD2 both records, both implementation SCDs I implemented in a table. So it will go and check is there any modifications happen in the SCD type 2 columns. Okay. Here what happened in the SCD type 2 column?
Salary will modify.
So it's happened the change, right? Earlier will be 10,000. Now it's changed as a 12,000. Means this is a SCD type 2 columns. So whenever the changes happen in SCD type 2, it should be override as it should be add as a new record.
New record,
right?
yes. For money, it will
Add
be
as a
new
new
record.
Yeah, exactly. So it will go into add as a new record 5. So the same record will be here. Okay. So here it will be the change will be 12,000. Okay. And then here will be same. So it will go into maybe 1/1/2021. Yeah, this is the max date. We'll come to the max date. Here the active will be 1. Okay. This is the whenever the changes happen, the new date. This it will go and override into here. The end date.
End date, active will be 0.
In date and active will be 0.
So this is like that. It will go and load the data. So this functionality you have to validate the real time. The functionality will be correctly loading correctly. The values are reflected or not. The from date, to date, active, and then the changes happen. What are the changes? Okay. And then see what is the new. One more record is there, updated record for us. One more updated record is there. But here, what happened?
It will
This is the change is the location. Earlier will be Bangalore. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just told it will update the same record because it is SCD type 1.
Yeah, exactly. So it will be Hyderabad. There is no implementation on the this column SCD type 2 column. Okay, this is a SCD type 1 column. So it will go and override this record into target side. Okay, simply it will go and override the target side. That's it. There is this is the active record only. There is no change here because of here we are not maintaining any history here. We are not maintaining any history here. Okay, there is no changes happen. The start date, end date will be here. Okay.
Raman, one question. Why the start date will not change since we have updated it? So the start date should get updated with the today's date, no? Like,
Yeah, that's why that is, but it won't update because that is depends upon the project. If they want, they will update. Otherwise, they won't update. That is a requirement. Based on the requirement, if they want to change the date, they will change. Otherwise, here joining date. This is a joining date they are taking on top of the joining date. Okay, start date they are going to take the start because of the joining date. If they want the requirement, they'll change. That's up to the based on the depends upon the requirement. As of now, I'm not going to change anything. Okay.
if suppose we have a separate column like modified date and time by the user or something.
That records will be there. Yeah, this will modify created date and updated date like that. This created date and modified date will be there. These records also there. Here it will update. Okay, I'll show you in the real time how the tables are there. Okay, if I told all those things, it will be confusion. So I'm not given this kind of discussion. Okay, I'll show you in the real time. Yeah, the real time table I will show you how it will be there. Created date and updated date. Okay, but here you can.
Sir, will they mention?
Sorry, your voice is.
Will they mention any end date, sir? Start date means we are telling that it's a joining date. And will they mention any end date?
End date will be always will be last date, max date. End date will be by default they are going to give the max date. Okay, this is the max date.
That means it is our wish, sir, end date means or.
Sorry, your voice really I can't hear. If you want, you can type the question. I can able to answer, but it's not properly. It's not hearing properly.
No, sir. Actually, the end date they are specifying that it is a maximum date. Maximum date. That means
Yes.
Date stamp.
Yes.
Will they mention or they'll give us a maximum date only?
They will give the mapping document. They will say the max date. They will give.
Yeah.
If you want, I will show you the ETL validation, right? I will show you the mapping document. How they are going to give the stereotype max date. Okay, I will show you. They'll tell which date they are going to give. This is a hard coded value. They're going to give the hard coded value.
Okay.
This is a hard coded value. Max date. Okay. 1 second, guys. Okay. So now the first part is a count The second I'm going to do some changes on the source side. Okay, I'm going to the changes in the source side. For example, now will be there. Here the money will be senior QA. The designation senior QA is also moved to Hyderabad. The changes happen. The two changes. One is the type 2 change. One is the type 1 change. Okay, and then this is one more change. Okay, this is change happen. Now tell me how many records will come in the my target table and how it will be loaded in ingest the data.
More 2 records will come.
Records it will be happens.
One record will come.
Now I have the 5 records in the target table. Tell me the count after these changes happen. These changes happen. There is no change on the here. Now there is no change on the here. Now if any changes happen, 2 changes happen. Okay. Now tell me the count, exact count numbers.
7.
Other answers?
7.
Again, for locate Rajesh, is this a new record?
Sorry, this also already is existing record. Last time it will be new record, but today it's now it will be there is no new record. Is already this record will be presented in my target table. Okay.
Then it's 7.
Records are there now. My target table only updated records are there. So tell me the count. How many count records will be there in the my target table?
7.
Okay. All are will be 7 only. Fine. Okay. We'll see how many. Now tell me the how it will load as a 101 record. Money record. There is two changes here. SQA and Hyderabad. Right? How it will load as a target side? Tell me. Okay.
SQA and here Hyderabad. Hyderabad.
Location.
The same date and in fifth record it will be 0.
3.
Okay.
Something date will be
So
shown.
given some other given. Okay. This I am going to update here.
End date. Okay.
And
Then
because
active is 0.
0.
Is it fine? This is the correct
Yes,
data.
Yes.
Okay. See, I'll tell you.
Yes,
One more record is change record. Here also
Another one.
7. This is a 20,000, right? 20,000. Okay. Just I am going to give some date. Is it the right? Is it the right? Is there any modifications in the table? Any changes in the table?
Yes.
Guys, this is the final table, final data, ingested data, or is there any changes in the data?
In third record, the active will be 1 only.
Which one? Year.
The money it will be changing again in Bangalore to Hyderabad.
Active will be 1 only.
Which record? Which record? Sorry.
Third one, third one, 1003 Aparna, 15,000 HR Bangalore 30. The active will be 1 only.
Why it's one? It's a change SCD type to right. SCD type to right. This is the active one. This is the historical data now. Earlier it will be 15,000. Now it will be 20,000. Why it will be 1 here? So that's why I
End of
changed
the
here.
date is
The date also I
end
changed.
of the date also.
I changed I modified the end of the day.
This is
Correct, na?
correct only. This is
Yes, sir.
correct.
It's
Correct.
correct.
Yeah, it's
They are
correct.
changeable to end of the
Yes, sir.
date also.
Yeah. Always the active record, one record will be max date will be the end max date. End date will be max date. Okay. For the historical dates, the max date not equal to the max date. End date is not equal to the max date. That you have to some simple. You have to remember that one. But here one change is there. One more change is there in this data.
Fifth money is Bangalore is Hyderabad. Fifth.
Yeah. Hyderabad, na? I given the Hyderabad only. Yeah, correct.
But
You
it
are
is
whatever you are saying correct.
the
Yeah, whatever you are saying correct. So this is the SCD1 record, right? The change happened Bangalore to Hyderabad. This is the SCD1 column. So is there SCD type column? So we are 100 records in the target table. All 100 records it will go and override. Means it will go and override the wherever the money is there. All places it will go and override. Okay, these are the important logic. It will go and override the all places. It will go and override because this is a SCD1 record, right? This is a SCD1 record. Whatever the changes happen, SCD1 is what is the SCD1 functionality? It will go and override the data, right? Here money will be 3 records are there, money records. All the 3 records it will go and override the SCD1. Whatever the changes happen, the SCD1 column. Here earlier now if we change to Bangalore to, for example, Chennai, there is no Chennai. Okay, there is no changes in the SCD type 2. Then it will go and override all places Chennai. Where is the money is there? all places it will go on the Chennai.
Chennai.
Okay, that is the SCD type 1 functionality. Is there both SCD type 1 and type 2? Then you have to check the, is there a SCD type 1 column modification? You have to check the historical data also. Here, you have to consider the historical data also. The change is reflected or not. Okay, clear guys? SCD1 and SCD2 with the same table they will go implement. How it will be? You have to consider the data, which and all places it will be go and reflect the data. Clear, right? Because this is very important guys. So we have to do this kind of, because of here only 5 tables, 5 columns are there. But the real time I showed you yesterday, more than 50 tables or 60 columns or 80 columns. So in that case, how you have to validate? So this is the way, the functionality you have to understand. Then you can able to do the testing clearly. SCD type 2 and SCD type 1 testing. Okay, mandatory you have to do this one. That's why 100% they will ask in the interview question, how you are going to do the validation, SCD type 1 validation. Can you explain? You have to tell the answer based on the start date, end date, and active flag. We have the start date, end date, active flag. Based on these 3 columns, I'm going to validate the, either it could be active record or history record. Okay, the active one will be always will be history, active record. The 0 will be history record. Okay, and the end date will be for active records, the max date. It will be always will be max date. For history records, it's not a max date. Okay, these are the SCD type 2 implementation, SCD1 and SCD2 guys. Any doubts here? Okay, clear, right? Now we'll go for the SCD type 3 for 5. Okay, we'll finish in the 5 minutes guys. So now it won't take much time, this one. But here advantages, disadvantages means the SCD type 1, I told the advantages will be, it will be, it won't a huge amount of data. It will be easy to access the data. But the disadvantage means there is no history maintaining the SCD type 1. But come to the SCD type 2, we are maintaining the history. That is advantage. Disadvantage means the table size will be increased drastically. Automatically, we can't get the query performance will be decreased here. SCD type 2. And also the effort and the cost also, it will be more. You have to increase every time. You have to increase the size, RAM size, all those things. Table size we have to increase. RAM we have to increase. Okay. The performance you have to check, right? The effort and cost will be increased in the SCD type 2. That is a disadvantage. The manual effort will be more. Okay. Come to the SCD type 3 guys. Come to the SCD type 3. So SCD type 3 means here we are maintaining the partial history. We are going to maintain the partial history. We are going to maintain in the SCD type 3. Means how it will be their data. Okay. For example, they implemented the SCD type 3 for this location column. They implemented for SCD type 3 the location column. Okay. The target table, how it will be there. The structure totally changed guys. Structure will be changed. Employee ID, employee name, salary, location, DPT number. Here they are going to change the current location. And then one more record. The structure it is going to change here. Okay. Or previous location. Okay. And the effective date. So like that it will be there in the SCD type 3 implementation. Okay. Here the table structure is changed. You can see only location is there. Here we are going to define the current location and previous location. Okay. Now if we change this one, okay, Bangalore. The previous location also Bangalore. Take a like the same thing. Effective date I'm seeing 01/01/2021. Okay, this is the effective date. For this date on 01/01/20. Can give from this date they're staying in the Bangalore. Okay. If they move to money is moved to Hyderabad. Okay, money is moved to Hyderabad. Okay. Now the previous location will be Bangalore. The current location will be Hyderabad based on the effective date. Effective is 1. Okay. Previously current location is Hyderabad. Previous location is Bangalore. In Hyderabad, where from when he is in Hyderabad, from this date effective date from 1/1/2021 onwards, it will be Hyderabad. For example, he moved to Chennai. Okay, the current location will be CHC Chennai. The previous location will be Hyderabad, and the effective date will be 3. For example, 3rd month March. I'm saying from March onwards he is in Chennai. Previously he will be Hyderabad, but previous I don't know from where he is staying. We don't know where he is staying in the previously. Okay, so this is the functionality. So we are going to maintain the partial history based on the current record and the previous record with effective date at the time of SCD type 3 implementation. That is the you have to tell the answer. What is SCD type 3 means? So I didn't work done. We don't have in my project the SCD type 3 implementation, but the functionality will be it's going to the target table, current record and previous record based on the effective date. Like that, it will go into the functionality for SCD type 3. You have to give this answer for interview point of view. Okay. Or for example, sometimes they will going to maintain the permanent address and residence address. Means it won't change the permanent address. Always will be same only. The current address keep on changing residential address. Our permanent address will be Andhra maybe. The current address now we are in Bangalore. Now if you go to the Chennai or Delhi or somewhere, okay. But this record it won't change. But this record will keep on changing. That is depends upon the requirement. Sometimes they will go maintain the current record and previous record. Sometimes they will go maintain the original record and current record. Original record it won't change anytime. Only current record is going to change based on the effective date. Okay, that is the SCD type 3 implementation. But so this in the real time I never seen this SCD type 3 implementation in my experience. Okay, so don't worry, don't bother about the SCD type 3. For the interview point of view, sometimes they will ask the SCD type 3 also, but you have to give this explanation straight away. Okay, current record and previous record based on the effective date, they are going to implement the SCD type 3. Okay, clear guys? SCD type 3. Main important, you have to focus the SCD type 1 and SCD type 2. Okay, so they ask what is the challenges you have faced in your project. Can you tell me any challenges at the time of your validations? Then you can say directly. So we have the dim customer table is there. Dim customer table. There are the more than 100 columns are there, but they implemented a SCD type 2 for the SCD type 2 and SCD type 1 in the for that table. But at the time of the validation, it is very difficult to because of the number of columns are more. Okay, it's very difficult to validate all the scenarios SCD1 and SCD2 scenarios. So it will be big challenging to me. Like that, you can able to tell for 3 years, 4 years, guys. This kind of challenges you can able to tell in the interview point of view. Okay, that the 100 columns means you have to thoroughly check the SCD1 and SCD2, the historical data, how it's going to update based on the all those things. Okay, that is one of the challenging you can say you can able to tell in the interview point of view. Okay, guys. The same thing I already uploaded the document. A CD document I already uploaded. You can see here the definition. A series. They are the in general 3 ways to solve the type of problems, and they are categorized as a SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. The new record replace the original record. So what does the changes happen in the source side? That record replace the original record. No trace of the old record exists here. Okay. Type 2 means a new record is added into the customer dimension table. Therefore, the customer treated as essentially 2 people. So here with example I have given here. With example I have given. Okay. What is advantages? What is disadvantages? So how it will be going to here. See. And SCD type 3. Okay. Original state, current state, and effective date. Like that, it will be there in the SCD type 3. Okay. I already given. If any doubts also, ask me in the tomorrow class. I'll go to explain one more type if you want. SCD1 and SCD2. Okay. Something like I have seen. You have any assignments, sir? For this one, it's not. We have to understand the functionality. That's it. If you guys want, you can just prepare like this kind of data. If there any changes are there, like that, whatever I prepared the data. So just prepare this kind of data, guys, and then understand what are the data you loaded as a target table, correct or not. If you want, you can share that one. I'll tell you the way of your prepare the data is correct or not. I can tell you guys if you want. Okay, is valid or not. I can able to judge. I can able to tell the answer. Okay, but the functionality you have to understand here. Okay, then how you are going to, you have to practice the, if you know already SQL, you can practice how I need to get this kind of data, how I need to validate the data in the real-time point of view, how I need to get the active records, how I need to get only historical data. Okay, how I need to write the queries. So like that you can practice the SCD1 and SCD2. Okay, if you know SQL, just create this kind of table. Okay, and then do the, I want to retrieve the only active records. I want to retrieve the only. So you have to here consider the end date is not null value. Or end date should not for active one record. It should not be other values. Only it should be max date. For active equal to 1, it should be one record. How you will check the only max date will be there or not? You have to write select distinct end date from table where active equal to 1. Then it should come only one record. That record will be this record. So this kind of scenarios you have to prepare the queries. Practice this one. Okay. If you already know the SQL, then this kind of things you can practice. Otherwise, from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start the SQL. If any one or two topics is there, then I will cover in the coming classes, data warehousing concepts. Okay. I think one is there, factless fact table. Those kind of classes, topics I will cover in the going forward. Okay. But we'll start the SQL tomorrow. So this is up to data warehousing, guys. So we discussed most. I shared the questions also, guys, to you. Frequently asked questions. Please go on this one and then prepare the answers. I'm going to stop the recording.